Psalms chapter 39 verse 12. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears. For I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were.
And the word there, I believe, is guard. Is it guard there? Yeah, look that up. I believe the word there is guard for stranger. Because whenever you see the word guard in the Hebrew, that's that. My phone's off. Anybody look that word up? No. What's the preacher?
Psalms 39 verse 12.
Psalms 39 and 12. Alright? So when the scriptures refer to the stranger, they're not referring to a heathen, okay? When it pertains to salvation. When the scriptures refer to a Greek, that's not referring to an actual heathen. That's referring to an Israelite that worshiping the Greek customs, okay? That didn't know that he was an Israelite, okay? Guard. Alright, the word there is guard. Okay, now give me Leviticus 25 and 35. Then I want Exodus, I believe that's 12 and 43.
Where's yours? Let me read this one more time. Psalms 39 verse 12. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears. For I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers were.
So David, that's David speaking? David just called himself a stranger. He just called himself a guard. Okay? That word guard can't describe an actual foreigner, an actual stranger. Okay? The stranger right here is referring to David. Okay? And it tells you that clearly in the law who the strangers are. Got Leviticus?
This is Leviticus chapter 25 verse 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor.
You know, it said thy brother. So the stranger is your brother. Okay? Go ahead.
And fallen in decay with thee. Then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Yeah, no heathen gets this right. Okay? No actual heathen gets this right. This is an Israelite that didn't stay with the main camp. Okay? Not 100% of Israel wasn't in slavery in Egypt. Okay? 100% of Israel wasn't in slavery in Egypt. Just like 100% of Israel isn't here in America. Like 100% of Asher isn't over there in Colombia, okay, and in Brazil. All right, 100% of the Shashkar isn't in Mexico, okay. So 100% of Israel wasn't in captivity during the Egyptian captivity. All right, that's why the scriptures speak about the stranger, okay, because the stranger didn't and wasn't with the main camp. Now this is a law in there to bring Israelites that wanted to be a part of the main camp into Israel. Right? And they were conceded all the rights that Israelite that was in the camp had. Okay? So the stranger right here is referring to the Israelites. Right? Guard, that's the Hebrew word. You continue to read that.
Verse 36. Take thou usury. Salakia. Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee.
Yeah, so an actual heathen, you can take usury from him, okay? But your brother, you can't take usury from him, all right? Whether he was just coming in for 10 days, and then was leaving back out from the camp, from the main camp of Israel. You couldn't take usury with him, okay? Meaning you couldn't charge him interest on a loan. Okay, and that proves that the so-called white man is not our brother. When we get loans, whether they be student loans or personal loans, they charge us interest. But then they turn around and say that he's our brother. Okay, so that proves right there that the so-called Jew is not keeping the commandments. Right? What?
Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
And this proves that this is not talking about the other nations, because it's prophesied, okay, what we call the Old Testament and the New Testament, the other nations going into slavery, and that they are going to be bondmen and bondwomen. Okay? And it's going to further continue to tell you that in the law. that the servants, the bondmen and bondwomen, are supposed to be taken from the other nations because it prophesied that the other nations are going into slavery. What?
And if thy brother that dwelleth be waxen, Salakia. Verse 40. But as an hired servant and as a sojourner.
Yeah, a hired servant gets a wage. Okay, a bond servant doesn't get a wage. That's forced labor. Those forced labor you're supposed to get from the other nations. Okay, so this stranger can't be talking about somebody that's from another nation, but it's going to give you the contrast. But
he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his father shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy power. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
That totally proves that the stranger that's referring to, okay, that you're supposed to hire as a hired servant, that's supposed to dwell by you, and you're supposed to build him back up, his finances, and his life. That's an Israelite, foreigner. That's not an actual heathen. Because the scripture just said that the bondmen, meaning forced laborers without a wage, was supposed to be taken from the heathen, meaning the ones that aren't Israelites. When the confusion comes in, it uses the same words, stranger and servant and heathen, to describe both parties. Okay? So you gotta have the spiritual understanding to understand what it's talking about.
You gotta go back into the meaning of those words, like the brother just gave you, on what the word stranger means.
What? And it's gar, okay? Gar is referring to Israelite farm. What?
That are round about you, of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
What?
Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn unto you, Salakia, among you.
Yeah, it uses the same word, you stranger. What? So if you don't do any research, you're going to think that's, you want to get confused and say the Bible contradicts itself. First it just said that the stranger is supposed to dwell by you, and you're not supposed to usurp usury upon him, okay? You're supposed to give him a wage, and now we're saying you're supposed to keep him as bondman and bondwoman. Alright? Because the first stranger is referring to the Israelite foreigner. The second stranger is referring to heathens that are not Israelites. Okay? But he uses the same word in the English. Right?
Of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Revelation 2:26. Now I tell you right there that they're going to be a possession. Okay? Read that again.
Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
They shall be our possession. And the scripture will even go in Psalm 2nd chapter. It said, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Okay? You give me Revelation 2:26. What proves that? You got it? Yep. What proves it? It's prophesied that the other nations are going into slavery. Okay? So we know the stranger that's referring to in the law, okay, when we're supposed to treat with brotherly love, we're referring to Israelite foreigners. Because there's judgment for the other nations. But
Revelations 2:26. He that overcometh, and he keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Those are bondmen and bondwomen. Okay? Said we were going to rule over them with a rod of iron. Now a rod of iron you use to crack over somebody's head. Alright? If it was silver or gold, maybe it'd be a different subject, but that's a rod of iron. That rod of iron is specifically used as a bigger form of rule. Okay? Well, in the scripture it tells you that we're not supposed to rule over the stranger. Okay? That's an Israelite foreigner with vigor. That right there, that stranger, that's ruling over the stranger with vigor. Okay, with hatred. And the word
Yeah, because nigga like brother Josh, he'll go and say, oh, that's just a scepter that we're gonna rule and guide the nations, such as Prophet 666 says.
Obviously, you didn't